I sure do. As I said, one of my favorite places to be at SAIT Culinary Campus. And you know I've been here quite often when they greet you at the door with a double chocolate pecan cookie, one of my personal favorites here. And I'm going to set that aside because we got some other good food on the menu here. Chef Steve Lapine joining us this morning. International cooking classes coming up at SAIT Culinary Campus.
Yes, that's right.
This is one of my favorites, so it just happens to be the one we're starting with.
As mine as well, that's right, tempura. Yes.
Love tempura, but I always find that you love it when you're eating it, and then you realize it's something like a bowling ball in your stomach, because it's usually really heavy.
That's right.
You've got a key to make it light and crispy.
It's all about the batter.
Okay.
So you can use pre-made mixes, right, for your tempura. That's totally fine. We're using a little bit of flour and baking powder.
Just regular flour?
Pastry flour.
Okay.
I'm using pastry flour just because it doesn't have so much gluten as regular all-purpose flour. The key, though, is you want to have ice and cold water for your batter.
Why is that? I would think warm would dissolve it better, right?
Exactly. A lot of people think that, and the reason for this is essentially we want to create that nice, light, crisp texture to the tempura. And by using hot water, we're going to essentially work the gluten. So you're going to get more of a kind of a stringy, pasty tempura.
Okay.
And essentially what's going to happen then is you're going to kind of get that dense, really greasy tempura. So by using this, essentially we're going to create that nice, lovely texture to it. So you can see here, we're mixing it in with chopsticks. So again, we're not really working the gluten. Now don't worry if there's some lumps. Actually, some lumps in the tempura batter is actually quite nice.
There's a lot of lumps in this one.
Now the only thing we want to make sure that what we're going to do is when we start tempering the vegetables is obviously we don't want to put any of the ice cubes in the fryer, because then we could have a big issue with the oil essentially pouring over.
It's going to be some snap.
That's looking lovely, Mike. Come on over to the fryer here.
Okay.
Okay. One little note whenever you're doing your tempura batters, you want to fry essentially at 375. So essentially we want a hot oil. So that's where, again, having a thermometer is a great idea.
Yep.
Okay, and definitely use that. So we're about 370, so that's okay too. So I'm going to essentially put the vegetables in, and again, I'm going to start with the vegetables that are a little bit more dense.
Right.
Okay. So, our broccoli here is going to take a little bit longer to cook. So I'm going to start with that.
So you notice as soon as you dip it into that batter, it's not thick coating.
No, you can see it's just nicely coating the vegetables. Absolutely. You can see how there's actually some lumps on there, and that's actually quite nice.
Okay.
So great job with that, Mike.
We're going to let you fry those. Of course, SAIT Culinary Campus has this and other amazing meals. Learn how to cook international cuisine at SAIT Culinary Campus coming up next month. Look at this, guys. This looks amazing. See, light, flaky. That's the way it's supposed to look. We're going to continue cooking our vegetables here this morning, but we're going to throw back to the studio and check in traffic with Dave Will.